Picture this. You're at a bar. Out of nowhere, someone throws a punch straight at your face. What do? Do you dodge, counter, or do you just freeze? Here's what's actually happening inside your skull in that split second. You carry 2 copies of the AA variant on your COMT gene, a gene that controls how fast your brain clears out dopamine. Your version works slowly, so when that fist comes flying, dopamine floods your prefrontal cortex and short-circuits it. Your thinking brain checks out at exactly the worst possible moment. Now flip it. Imagine you had the good game variant instead. This version burns through dopamine fast. When stress spikes, your prefrontal cortex doesn't buckle, it sharpens. You don't deliberate, you don't hesitate, you move. Scientists have a name for people like worriers. About 25% of people are full worriers. Another 25% are on the opposite end of the spectrum, call them worriers, and the remaining 50% fall somewhere in the middle. A 2020 study found that MMA fighters are significantly more likely to be full worriers than the general population, which makes perfect sense. Their entire career is built around making sharp, precise decisions while someone is actively trying to knock them unconscious. But here's the twist. Warriors don't rule everywhere. Step out of the cage and into a quiet classroom, and suddenly the warrior is the one falling behind. Because the warrior, they thrive in calm, sharper memory, better planning, stronger, more sustained focus. As long as nobody's throwing a punch, the warrior is the one acing every test. So why did evolution keep both? Because a tribe needed both. The warrior reacts fast when danger strikes. The warrior thinks 10 steps ahead when it doesn't. Together, they survive. Separately, they'd each have a weakness that could wipe them out. Whichever one you are, you're living proof that evolution kept both on purpose. Now let's talk about something completely different. If you're blonde, this woman is your ancestor. Her story begins 17,000 years ago. In the heart of central Siberia, the ice age is just starting to loosen its grip, but the winters are still brutal enough to kill. Her tribe hunts mammoths and reindeer across the frozen steppe. Every person in her world has dark hair, her parents, her grandparents, every human her tribe has ever encountered from every direction of the horizon, except her. Her hair is the color of honey catching sunlight. A mutation on a gene called kittilg has reduced the pigment her hair follicles produce by about 20%. That's all it takes to turn black into gold. Nobody knows what to make of her. Some think she's blessed, some think she's cursed. Mostly, she just wants the kids to stop yanking her hair every chance they get. She grows up watching the hunters disappear over the horizon. She grows up watching fewer of them come back. And when the tribe gathers around the fire at night, the men's eyes keep drifting back to the girl with the strange honey-colored hair. One of them takes her as his mate. Her children inherit her hair. 17,000 years later, Russian archaeologists will pull the bones of a teenage girl from the permafrost near that very spot. She died at 14. They'll name her Afantova Gora 3. When they sequence her DNA, they'll find the exact same gene that turned that first woman's hair to honey. She was probably her granddaughter. Okay, here's something you can actually try right now. Grab a piece of bread, put it in your mouth, but don't swallow. Just chew. Keep chewing for about 30 seconds. Notice anything? If that bread suddenly started tasting sweet like someone snuck sugar into it while you weren't looking, congratulations. Your saliva is doing something remarkable. 12,000 years ago, your ancestor was standing in a field, staring at a scraggly little plant that would one day become the bread you're chewing right. He plucks a seed head, rolls the grains loose, and pops one in his mouth. He doesn't know the science behind it, but something about this plant tastes good, sweet, filling, better than anything he's been chasing. He carries extra copies of a gene called AMY1, and it's converting the wheat starch into sugar before he even thinks about swallowing. He brings some back for his buddy to try. His buddy shrugs and goes back to chasing rabbits. Your ancestor sits down next to an entire field of free food. They both have kids. One family grows with the wheat. One family keeps running after rabbits. You don't need to guess which family grew faster. 12,000 years later, you're walking into a subway. Your ancestors won a genetic arms race, so you could order a foot-long with extra cheese. Some people carry 2 copies of AM1, some carry 17. If your ancestors farmed wheat, rice, corn, or potatoes, you probably landed somewhere toward the high end. If they were hunting in the Arctic or foraging through rainforests, probably not. AMY1 helped your ancestors eat more of the right food. The next gene helped them avoid the wrong food altogether. Tas dois R3zoid. It's 6000 BC, somewhere in Central Europe. Your tribe is pushing west through territory no one in your bloodline has ever seen before. One day, your cousin comes back with an armful of wild greens. Everyone crowds around. They smell fine. They look fine. You take one bite and immediately spit it out. It tastes like poison, like chewing on a live battery. Your cousin, meanwhile, is eating happily. Half the tribe is right there with him. The other half spits it out with you. You carry 2 copies of the PAV variant on your TAS, 2R38 gene, a bitter taste receptor cranked all the way up. Your cousin's version is essentially broken, and that bitterness you're tasting isn't random. In nature, bitter almost always means toxic. Plants evolved it as a chemical alarm system. Feeling that alarm loud and clear should be a massive evolutionary advantage. You should outlive your cousin. His kids should be weaker. His bloodline should fade out over generations. Except it didn't. Today, 1 in 4 people carries your cousin's broken gene. 1 in 4 are super tasters like you. The rest are scattered across the spectrum. Evolution kept the entire range because all of you are about to get tested in very different ways. That night, your cousin starts shaking. By morning, he can barely breathe. By noon, he's gone. The greens were poisonous. Many in the tribe die. You're still standing. Your gene saved your life. But then, winter comes. The easy food is gone. Your tribe stumbles on a patch of wild roots, not poisonous, but bitter enough that your body rejects them completely. Your tribe mates without your sensitive gene, eat the roots, and survive the season. You don't make it. Every generation. Some of you taste the poison and live. Some of you starve when there's nothing left but bitter roots. The gene stays because the tribe always needed both. Whichever version you carry, you're about to experience evolution. Trim 8. It's 18,000 BC on the frozen steppe of southern France. The Ice Age has hit its brutal peak. Glaciers have swallowed everything to the north. Your tribe is huddled under a rock overhang, waiting out the wind. Your father's lips have turned blue. The girl beside you won't stop shaking. Your best hunter can't even grip his spear. Every gust cuts through them like a blade. For you, it just feels like pressure. You carry a mutation in a gene called TRPM8, which controls how intensely your body registers cold. Your core temperature is dropping just the same as everyone else's. You're just not feeling it the way they are. When the storm finally breaks, you spot a herd of reindeer moving through the valley below. You're the only one not too frozen to follow, so you go alone. By nightfall, you're back with a reindeer across your shoulders. Your tribe eats fresh meat that night because of you, and one girl can't quite take her eyes off you. Scientists will later trace this gene spread northward as humans pushed into the coldest corners of the earth. Today, 88% of Finns carry it, around 80% of Northern Europeans. In Nigeria, only about 5%. The colder your ancestors' world was, the more likely you carry what they passed down. But that advantage came with a price. The same gene that muffles the cold also disrupts nerves in the skull and raises the risk of migraine. You might not feel the winter the way others do, but you can absolutely feel that. You don't know any of that yet though. You just know your tribe survived the winter, and in the spring, you'll have children. They'll feel the cold the way you do. Almost not at all. Idar, 20,000 years ago, at the edge of the known world. You live on a thin strip of land bridging what will one day be called Siberia and Alaska. Scientists will eventually name this place Beringia, but right now, it's just home. You're a young mother. Your daughter is 3 months old. She smiles up at you, and for just a moment, everything else falls away. But the days are getting shorter. The sun is getting weaker. The fish have stopped running. The game has gone quiet. The berries are a memory. The boy in the tent next to yours stopped crying 3 days ago. A terrible silence has settled over the camp. And yet your daughter is fine. She nurses like she always has. She's warm. She's growing. The other mothers are starting to watch you with something between curiosity and desperation, trying to figure out what you're doing differently. You're not doing anything differently. It's what your body is doing without your knowledge, without your permission. You carry a mutation in a gene called EDAR. It has made the glands inside your breast denser, more branched, more efficient. Every drop of milk you produce carries more fat, more vitamin D, and more of the fatty acids your daughter's developing brain is hungry for. You have no idea. You just know she still smiles at you every morning. When spring arrives, your tribe moves south into a continent no human being has ever set foot on before. Your daughter grows up in this strange new world. She has daughters of her own. They all carry what you carry. Every winter after that, Their babies survive because of what you gave them. 20,000 years later, your daughters and granddaughters are everywhere. Nearly every person living in China carries your mutation. 87% of Koreans, 78% of Japanese. And before European ships arrived, 100% of the indigenous people of the Americas carried it. But Idar wasn't just working on breast milk. It was quietly reshaping everything it touched. Your hair is straight and thick. Your front teeth curve inward like tiny shovels. Your chin is softer, less prominent. Your earlobes have a distinctive triangular shape, and your eyes carry a small fold at the inner corner. If you see any of those features in the mirror, you're looking at her. Her face, 20,000 years later, still living in yours. You have experienced evolution.